But somebody who's ruining his own moments every time we turn around is our good friend Anthony Mackie. You guys probably may or may not know where I'm going to take this, but we'll go through it. We have a history, Anthony and I, right? He has no idea who we are, but we got demonetized off of an Anthony Mackie clip. So there's that. But I've talked about before how he tends to put his foot in his mouth and his actions tend to cause issue. That's a thing, right? Now the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show came out a couple years ago, and freaking ads. And I enjoyed it. We talked about it on the channel from time to time. It was a very forgettable show, and I don't mean that in necessarily a bad way. Like, it's a show that while it was on, we enjoyed it. Memorable moments. It brought us U.S. Agent, who was an amazing villain on the show. And we were like, okay, he is accepting the mantle of Captain America. Like that happens on the show. Sadly, a lot of people didn't watch the show. And for that reason, this is not my original thought, this part here. So, but I'll credit John Campia. He made a good point. He was like, a lot of people didn't watch the show, and because of that, they're going from Endgame to Brave New World. That's going to be their jump. So they see him receiving the shield, and then in this movie, he's just Cap. So there's a couple different ways they can take this, right? And his thought. Now we're back into my thought. There's a couple different ways they can take this. They can pretend like a TV show didn't happen, or that could be still part of this story, which is he's Cap and nobody thinks he should be Cap because he's not Cap. One of the things I loved about it was the TV show. One of the things I love about the TV show, as he's battling with the idea of being Captain America, and this also happened in the comic book, the conversation was very relatable to real life. People saying, you're not Captain America. And him saying, I'm not Captain America. He said, I'm Sam Wilson. Steve Rogers is Captain America. And even though Steve Rogers told him, no, you are Captain America, like it's more than just me, Sam didn't really accept it as like its truth. And that was one of the good storylines of the show. I thought it was really enjoyable. He didn't want it. And Bucky was like, you don't deserve it. It's Steve's. But then in the end, he gives it to Sam. He's like, you know what? He gave it to you. I trust him. You are him. So again, I enjoyed the show. Will they play that out in this movie? Ultimately, I hope not. I hope that in the movie, they don't rehash some of that from the TV show because he's already gotten past it. We'll see. But it still remains that people do not view, and by people I mean the public, in real life, outside the comic book as well, do not view Sam Wilson as Captain America. So to me, it is up to all parties involved to be like, hey, agreed. We all know that he, in the eyes of the world, he's not Captain America. That is the story here. Please come watch our movie. It's going to be fun. In this post Last Jedi world, in this post Disney doing Disney, there's no such thing as a guaranteed win with superheroes anymore. So I feel like we have to do everything we can just to make sure, hey, come watch a movie. I'm not going to piss people off. We're not going to pull a Brie Larson and, don't come see my movie if you look like blank. I feel like we're kind of past that. But Anthony Mackie does an Anthony Mackie, right? Anthony Mackie clarifies his viral Captain America comment, "I'm a proud American." What was the comment? Well, let's see. So I was going to play a clip. I decided not to because, again, I don't want to get banned or demonetized once again. Maybe on social media I'll share it. But he was doing a conversation to promote the movie. And he said, to me, Captain America represents a lot of things, and I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. And then he continues to say, it's important to keep reading sometimes. It's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Somebody who is trustworthy and dependable. So people grabbed the shit up. People grabbed it up and they were like, here we go again, blah, 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 blah. So, of course, you can see here he's come out and said, hey, I'm a proud American. But let's go based on the original comment for now, right? Captain America does not represent America. To me, right, my opinion, and I confirmed with the team just to be sure. I was like, hey, guys, am I sounding crazy? They said no. To me, that is false. To say Captain America does not represent America. That is false. In the comic books, in the movies, this has literally come up. This has literally come up. Captain America does represent America. He represents the people. He represents freedom. He represents standing up for what is right. That is the American dream, American, like on paper, like that's what America is. What he does not represent is the American government. Captain America is not a representation of that. U.S. agent was that. So what I think Anthony Mackie was trying to portray and convey was that idea. He does not represent, racism. He does not represent keeping illegals out, keeping refugees out, telling people don't come here. He doesn't represent any of that stuff. He represents the people. He's all for the greater good. He is all for being American. What the concept is of being American. So out of curiosity today, I was like, let me look at some of the videos online of people who, of course, are going to come for him. And I can't believe I'm defending Anthony Mackie right now. But of course, I watch videos and they were going to town. They were going to town, saying nasty shit. And that kind of person, right? That side of the fandom, to me, is part of the reason why Anthony Mackie at times can be a real douche, right? Come across as a douche. I don't doubt he might be a douche in real life anyway, but to me, that side of the fandom is why he already has a chip on his shoulder. And in playing the character, Sam Wilson's going to have a chip on his shoulder. Art imitates reality in this case. But I feel like what Anthony Mackie should not be doing is trying to ruffle feathers. No pun intended. We need people to be like, hey, let's go check out this movie. Truthfully, I want more of these stories. I just want them to be good. There's a lot of people who are already checked out. There's a lot of people checked out of Marvel, Star Wars, etc. The last thing they need is somebody saying something that's going to just come across similar to like the Brie Larson type shit back in the day, where she was like, if you're a white man, don't come watch my movie. Like, we don't need that kind of talk anymore, per se. But I think I know what he was trying to say. So in a way, I'm defending him. But at the same time, shut up. Dude, shut up. Shut up. Don't ruin it. Similar to the Spider-Man cartoon, anybody who's mad about what he said, I don't think that's the reason why they're not going to go see the movie. I don't think those people were going to see the movie anyway until it was on streaming. And also, news like this does very little. Does very little to overall box office. Most of society that is in the addressable market of watching this movie has no idea this even happened and doesn't even care. They don't. This is super niche of us to go and seek out stories like this. So, do I think the movie's going to perform well? I think it breaks even at least. And like most, I'm hoping that it's amazing because we do want to make Marvel great again. But I'm not holding my breath. I'll be honest. I fucking said it again. God damn it. Sorry. Sorry. And they also said the other day that, everybody was wrong about the estimates of the movie, that it costs lower to make than expected. We'll see. But like I said, at the moment, I think the movie breaks even in a best case scenario. I think I had it. Let's see.